Yeah, absolutely. All right, top 5 bullet points of the Super League, and I hope Adam McDonald watches this. It's one of the reasons I did this. He asked a bunch of questions yesterday. He asked a bunch today in the chat. So, Adam, this is dedicated to you, sir. Number 5, 70 teams from the Power 4 in 10 teams divisions. I guess it would technically be the Power 5 because this encompasses the old Pac-12. Right. So Wazoo and Oregon State would be in this thing, as would Notre Dame and SMU. So those are the 70 teams. So that's who would create this. And so there would be 7 10-team divisions of those schools that would comprise the majority of this. And they never have to fear relegation. Never once. They won't have to worry about it. That's the only way they could possibly get them in for it, because if you told Alabama you have 2 bad years in a row you could drop, they're going to be like, no, we're not doing this. No. They're going to know. They have to know. So number 4, we'll just go through these. This might be very concise, Garrett.
Okay.
Teams from the G5 are the only ones who can be relegated and promoted, and there will be 10 of them each year. So there'll be 10 of those, and they will get relegated and promoted as that goes along. So there's incentive to be better and to get in there and move up the ranks. And then you would have a chance to play in the playoff and all that, because everybody from every division is getting in. There's going to be, 8 conference champion, like the way they're doing it. It'll be like the NFL playoffs, where you win your division, you win this, like division winners, and then wild cards, essentially, beyond that.
Do you think this is something that would translate, like the relegation? Do you think that's so that would stick strictly to football?
Yeah, it'd have to be, because you could do it for basketball.
Yeah.
Yeah. I mean, basketball's fine. Basketball's fine. If you want to make the league, if you want to make the basketball leagues like this too, basketball's got to be
That's
different.
A lot, though.
That's different. It's different. Like basketball, if you want to if you want to make the basketball leagues like this and do scheduling partnerships and all that and rotate it through like the NBA would, I'm fine with that. You just have more of it because there's more basketball leagues. But yeah, I'm fine with that too. But just they don't need to mess with basketball too much.
Just leave it alone.
Just leave it alone. Number 3. There might not be as much money available as many think. So part of the thing that College Sports Tomorrow, the group doing this, is selling is look, if we do this, there's going to be way more money available down the line. And from the TV network perspective, there's a lot of people that think that, well, how much more money can you squeeze out of this right now, especially when you're talking about adding teams and taking because right now, if you're the SEC and Big Ten, you're like, well, that means you're going to take some money away from us, and we want all the money. So they're not really concerned about long-term growth. And they're not really concerned the good of the many is really better than the good of the one, because if the good of the many is taken care of, then the good of the one, that whole thing, they're not about sacrifice, and that's what's going to take in this. But the money that I think that College Sports Tomorrow is also talking about is your lawsuits are over. That's where the lawsuits are over. So those things, now that you have collective bargaining, it might be less money than you're thinking of overall in the short term, but in the long term, it will benefit you that you're not getting sued for back pay and for all these other things that they're getting sued for. Right. And that's good. If that back pay thing hits,
everybody's screwed. Yeah.
That's one that I can't wrap my head around. I can't even wrap my head around it. And that's, of course, going to be a 10-year case. But
you would, legitimately, that's when we would see universities have to axe athletic departments, because that's the only way you could keep it.
Yeah, that's going to be a 10-year case. Yeah. But yeah, absolutely. So, number 2, conferences are skeptical. Yes, because why would they give up that power?
Wouldn't want to.
They wouldn't want to. Right now, they get to do it. They can do pretty much whatever they want, and they push people around. This scenario really means that you're not again, if you've got 10-team divisions, unless the SEC just goes and adds, they add to everybody adds to 20, so you can have a Big 12 and a.
How would that work from commissioner standpoint? Would you generate 6 or 7 more commissioners?
I don't think so. I think here's the only thing I think they could say. Okay, well, if we're going to do this and we have 6 10-team things, well, we would like an SEC 1 and an SEC 2, a Big Ten 1 and a Big Ten 2, and like give everybody 20, right?
Yeah, like you have, yeah.
You know, but then you get to 80 and you're not like you have that thing. So 70, like I don't know, somebody's going to wind up with 10, but maybe the Pac-10 only gets 10.
There you go.
But they're happy to be together. I don't know, but like the conferences that are almost 20, you can give them. I don't know. It's I'm confused.
Complicated.
It's not. I don't. Yeah. So it's but they're not just going to give that up.
Yeah.
So I'm not expecting this again. This is going to be a long process. This is not imminent or anything, but that's the proposal, and there are some movers and shakers behind it. Number 1, there's no committee.
Thank you.
No committee. We picked the playoffs based on merit.
Huh.
What do you know?
I don't understand how you ever got away from that. And I think the breaking point was last year.
College football has never picked the playoffs strictly on merit.
They haven't.
Ever. It's never been strictly on merit, never once. And it continues to not be. I mean, merit's part of it, but it's not the only thing.
No, it's prestige. Eyeballs.
Yeah. No other sport picks their playoff by like, well, that one, they got the same record and the same thing, but this one is worth more than that one.
Yeah.
Okay. You know. So there, but there's no committee, which again, the fact that you had to have one in the first place, at no point you should go, maybe this is counterintuitive to the whole idea of sport.
Yeah.
You know,
competition in general. This is ridiculous.
Yes. This is where that, like, how do you pick it? Well, how does figure skating do it? We'll do it that way. I don't know. So, but no committee. Look, like when I read that, I was like, quit drilling, fellas. You hit oil. Yep. That's it. I'm good. I'm good. All right. Tomorrow on the show, we'll have Sam